After yesterday's rainout, the Muckdogs are back in action at Dwyer Stadium, hosting the Tarp Skunks. Hello and welcome everyone inside beautiful Dwyer Stadium for today's game between Batavia and Jamestown. I'm Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn for today's game. Landon, welcome back in the booth.
Happy to be here, Jared. Like you said, yesterday's rainout. Still a little chilly with the wind today, but it's a good day for some baseball.
Jamestown, a team Batavia is used to seeing so far this season, 4-0 against the Tarp Skunks, both undefeated here and on the road in Jamestown. And some of those victories haven't been close. Yes, the most recent one ended in a mercy, 15-2, the final score of that one. Batavia just clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, and that'll be the story for today for Jamestown, is trying to find a rhythm. Jamestown, so far this season, they've been a team of streaks. To start the year, they were 4-1, and everyone saw them as second in the division. Since then, they've cooled down a little bit. They went on a 6-game losing streak. Since then, starting to find the rhythm again, going 5-3 in their last 8 games. And for Batavia, it's the same story. Starting off hot, going 10-1. In their last 7 games, they've been 4-3, and in those 3 losses, they've lost by a combined runs of 4.
Jamestown, certainly a team that's been up and down this season. They currently rank 4th in the Western Division, 5.5 games out of the Muckdogs, who are in first place with a 14-4-1 record. Just behind them is Auburn at a 12-7-1. Elmira just a couple games back of the first place spot and 1 game outside of Auburn at 11-8. The Geneva Red Wings sit at 6-10-1. Newark 8-13, and in last place in the Western Division, the Americans at 5-13-1. So that's where each squad ranks in the Western Division, but let's check out who's starting for today's game.
Hello, my name is Yankiel Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Isidro Jimenez.
Hello, my name is Gary Beaver.
What's up, guys? Matt Misiti.
And tonight's starting lineup is
presented by Tonkin Bank.
Leading off for the Muckdogs, it's Lucas Lopez at shortstop. Batting second, Kumuromic behind the dish. Jake Butler batting third and holding down third base. Anthony Greco, the extra hitter. Sean Mendez batting 5th in left field. James Bolton batting 6th, the designated hitter for today's game. Trevor Dutra batting 7th in first base. Jacob Vesco batting 8 at right field. Caleb Walker batting 9th at second base. And in the back of the order, Travis Hammond in center field for the Muckdogs. Matt Misiti starting on the mound today for Batavia. For the Tarp Skunks, Nigel Sebastianelli leading off at shortstop. Leo Doyle at center field batting second. Tommy Schroeder at third base batting third. Bobby Stang at first base batting fourth. Kobe Jones in left field batting fifth. DJ Stoyanovich sixth and the extra hitter for today's game. Henry Juan batting seventh and holding down the area behind home plate. Aiden Wallace, the designated hitter today, batting eighth. Quentin Kaiser batting ninth in right field. And Brandon McLean-Bakes, the back of the order for the Tarp Skunks, also at second base for today's game. And on the mound for the Tarp Skunks, it's Eli Shedd. Let's take a look at Matt Misiti's stats so far this season. He has a 1-0 record in just about 16 innings pitched, 13 hits, 21 walks and 12 strikeouts with an ERA of 1.68. Landon, to keep that momentum going, what does he have to do today?
Well, I think it's just making Jamestown really find their own offensive rhythm. Misiti so far in the season has struggled to find the strike zone at times, but in 3 of his 4 starts, he's given up no earned runs. I think it's just finding the strike zone and making Jamestown earn every run and opportunity they have today.
Matt Misiti has started in every game he's played in. He's been a consistent option to begin these games. And we'll send it down to the field for a few moments before we get underway here in Dwyer Stadium.
Trevor Dutra.
begin, we will have a performance of God Bless America that will be performed by the Shiloh Youth Praise and Worship Team. Shiloh Church is located at 3286 Crandall Road in Albion. It is a non-denominational church. It is a judgment-free zone, so you can come in as you are. Services start at 11 p.m. Consider following them on Facebook at Shiloh Church Albion and their YouTube channel at Shiloh Judgment Free Church. Their website is shilohchurchalbion.com. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Shiloh Youth Praise and Worship Team for God Bless America. Fans, I'd like to ask that you continue to remain standing and remove your hats. Our national anthem today will be sung by Zion Ford from Shiloh Church. We do have a ceremonial first pitch today as one of the pastors from Shiloh Church. Let's please welcome Pastor Trellis Ford. Let's see what you got. All right, not bad.
The first pitch curves outside, and we're almost ready to go here in Dwyer Stadium. Nigel Sebastianelli leading off for the Tarp Skunks. And Matt Misiti working the mound for the Muckdogs. Matt Misiti, a freshman out of Rowan College, a Winter Park, Florida native. This season in Rowan College, his squad went 47-8, threw for 30 innings, had 47 strikeouts, 22 hits, let up 26 runs and walks. And his squad made it to the second round of the NCAA Division III World Series. So a lot of experience for Matt Misiti in just one season, and a lot of team success.
We talked about Matt Misiti struggling to find the strike zone early on in the broadcast here. He does have just a little under 12 walks per 9, hoping to improve that tonight with the stellar performance on the mounds.
Leading off today's game for the Tarp Skunks, shortstop number 5, Nigel Sebastianelli.
The Muckdogs in their red uniforms with white bottoms and white hats. And the Tarp Skunks in black uniforms, black helmets, and black pants. First pitch ready to get underway. Sebastianelli batting lefty for the Tarp Skunks. He takes the first pitch for ball one.
Sebastianelli so far on the season for the Tarp Skunks, a .241 batting average. He's also drawn 10 walks.
Misiti throws the next pitch low and inside, and it's ruled strike one.
An everyday starter for the Tarp Skunks as he's second on the team in at-bats.
Sebastianelli hacks at the next pitch and rolls it foul past the Muckdogs dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count for Sebastianelli. Here's Misiti from the windup. Sebastianelli rips that one to third. It's scooped up by Butler, thrown to Dutra at first for the out.
And great pick there by Dutra at first base. Jake Butler's throw a little soft across the diamond, but Dutra does a great job of keeping that glove close to the dirt and picking that for the first out of the game.
That brings up Leo Doyle, the center fielder today. Still early in this one, Muckdogs and Tarp Skunks are scoreless with 1 out in the bottom of the first as that first pitch is fouled off behind the backstop.
Doyle 5th on the team in batting average for Jamestown with a .288. He's also got 4 RBIs and 1 walk.
Doyle whiffs on that pitch and sends it over the grandstand foul. So a quick 0-2 hole for Doyle. Misiti lowers the glove and deals the next pitch. Doyle pops it up behind the dish. Romick runs after it, but it lands just above the net, protecting the fans. So the count remains 0-2 for Doyle as he briefly steps out of the batter's box, but walks back in. Misiti has the glove at his chin and fires the 0-2. The righty Doyle rips that one to the right and center field gap, and it's corralled by Vesco for out number 2.
And we saw Travis Hammond playing on the right side of the second base bag out in center field. He was racing towards that one out in right center, and we saw the wind kind of tail off at the last second. As we said, it is a pretty windy day here in Batavia, New York, and Vesco trails that one for the second out.
That brings up Tommy Schroeder, the third baseman today, batting righty. He takes the first low pitch for ball one. Misiti guns the next pitch. Schroeder stands flat-footed, and count increases to 2 balls, no strikes. Misiti fires the next one, and that's strike one.
Schroeder, so far on the year, a .263 batting average with 10 walks and 4 RBIs.
Misiti raises the leg, cannons the pitch. Schroeder grazes it foul behind the dish. Next pitch to Schroeder's grounded over to third. Butler calmly picks it up and tosses it to Dutra at first, who retires the side. No runs on no hits and no errors for the Tarp Skunks. And the Batavia Muckdogs now have a chance to respond and get on the board early. Don't go anywhere. More Muckdogs baseball coming up after this.
Half of all mental health disorders show first signs before a person.
Hey guys, this is Austin, the play-by-play broadcaster for the Batavia Muckdogs, and I'm here with Dewey at Attica's 10th hole in Attica, New York at 96 Bunnell Street. Dewey's here ready to sink a par. Go ahead, Dewey. Come out to Attica's to play some 9-hole golf. Nice job, Dewey.
Bottom of the first in Dwyer Stadium. The Tarp Skunks and Muckdogs still scoreless as the leadoff hitter Lucas Lopez gets ready to swing for the Muckdogs.
And on the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, number 34, Eli Shed. So far on the season, he's 0-1 with a .450 ERA. He's thrown 10 innings, has 12 strikeouts. He's had 6 walks, and he's given up 8 hits so far on the year.
Eli Shed, a senior out of Wagner College. He's a left-handed pitcher, and for the Seahawks this season, pitched in 12 innings through 7 strikeouts. Tallied 19 hits and let up 18 runs. As Lucas Lopez makes his way to the batter's box. Lucas Lopez was dominant a few days ago in the last meeting between the Tarp Skunks and Muckdogs. Had 2 runs, 2 hits, and an RBI in 3 at-bats. Trying to build upon that success today. Here's the first pitch from Shed. Lopez stays patient, and the umpire rules strike one. Shed has the glove at his belt and deals the pitch from the stretch. Lopez does an offer on it, and the count rises to 1-1.
Lopez, the Florida native, leads the team in at-bats with 64 on the year. He's also third on the team with a .359 batting average.
1-1 delivery sneaks in there for strike two. Shed, glove at his waist, deals the pitch. Lopez sends it to right field, and it falls for a base hit. Lopez sprints over to second, gets there in time, as the throw from Kaiser to the infield is just a tad late, and the Muckdogs wasting no time getting runners on the base.
And that'll be ruled a single for Lucas Lopez, and then an error on Kaiser in right field for Lopez to advance to second base. So Lopez starts his day off with the leadoff single for the Muckdogs.
One runner on second for Batavia. Muckdogs and Tarp Skunks knotted at 1 run each with no outs in the bottom of the first. Cooper Romick now batting for the Muckdogs, and he takes the first outside pitch for ball 1. Romick hitting righty for the Muckdogs, leading the team in batting average with a .389. The next pitch from Shed. Curves outside, and the umpire rules strike 1. And the crowd is audibly frustrated. One ball, one strike. The delivery from Shed. Takes his time on that next pitch after looking at second, and that one's even farther outside, and the count rises to 2 balls, 1 strike.
Shed keeping a close eye on Lopez at second base. Lopez offers excellent speed. He leads the team in stolen bags so far with 11 on the summer.
Glove at his chest. Shed darts the pitch. Swing and a miss from Romick, and that evens the count at 2-2.
And that's one thing about Shed. He's got an excellent two-seam fastball that's going to break out for these right-handed batters. But for the Muckdogs, he's just getting barreled to the ball and making Jamestown make a play. As we already saw, Lopez gets barreled to the ball, and now he stands on second base.
Shed, right foot in front. Cannons the pitch. Lopez runs to third, but Romick pops it up foul. The Tarp Skunks went for it, but couldn't pull it in.
Lopez did break for third base on that pitch. Like we said, he does offer excellent speed.
2 balls, 2 strikes, still the count to the righty Romick. Lopez stays on second, but has a 5-foot lead. And Shed faked a pickoff attempt, but ultimately keeps it in his hand.
Shed wanted to throw over to second base, but no one covering for Jamestown. Still keeping a close eye on Lopez here.
Just trying to keep him honest. Shed finally throws the pitch. Romick swings and misses, and that's out number 1.
And that'll bring up Jake Butler, the third baseman for the Muckdogs. Started off a little shaky for Batavia, but as of recently, he's really risen. He now sits at a .233 batting average with 11 RBIs, and he has 12 walks on the season.
Lopez still on second. Butler up to bat. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the first, the Muckdogs and Tarp Skunks knotted up at 0. The first pitch from Shed. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 1 for Butler. Butler hitting righty for the Muckdogs, steps back in the batter's box. And Shed, with his right foot in front, glances at second. Takes another look and deals the pitch. That one way outside to the righty Butler, and Lopez sneaks to third.
Lopez, great jump over there at second base, and that pitch from Shed way outside in the left-handed batter's box, and no play for Juan behind the plate.
Lopez 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the game. Shed, the delivery. Swing and a miss from Butler, and the count falls to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shed, glove at the knees, races it to the chest, and fires the pitch. Butler stands flat-footed on that delivery, and the count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shed, ball behind his back in his left hand, has it in the glove and fires the next pitch. Butler sends it foul to the right side of the bleachers, and the count stands at 2-2.
And although Butler didn't start exactly how he wanted to so far this summer, struggling with the bat, still offers great plate appearances. He has a .452 on base percentage through the first 20 games for the Muckdogs.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's the next pitch. Butler sends it up to center field. It's high in the air and pulled in by Doyle for out number 2. Lopez sprints home. The throw to the infield, not in time, and the Muckdogs score the first run of the game.
And what an at-bat from Jake Butler, a sacrifice fly, gives the Muckdogs a lead in the bottom of the first, and that's exactly the start that Skip Martinez and the Batavia Muckdogs were looking for.
And just like that, Batavia draws first blood, already ahead 1-0. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And that brings up Anthony Greco, the extra hitter, batting lefty. First pitch from Shed. Curves and sneaks inside the zone for strike 1.
And we talked about that two-seam fastball running out for the righties. If these lefties in the lineup, it's going to be running in.
Greco thought that one was certainly a ball, as the next one is way low and outside to even the count at 1-1.
And something for Greco to watch here is he loves these high inside fastballs. If he gets a hold of one of those two-seam fastballs, that ball could be traveling a far distance. As we saw that home run, he had high inside fastball smoked to the right field fence.
The lone home run of the season as Shed throws the next pitch. Greco stays patient on that one, and the count rises to 2 balls, 1 strike. Shed, glove in front of him, ball behind his back. He deals the pitch. Greco does an offer on it. The pitch low and outside to the righty batter box. And it's a hitter's count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Shed, the 3-1 delivery at the dirt for ball 4.
And another base runner on for the Muckdogs as Anthony Greco draws the walk. That'll be his 7th of the season drawn. And that brings up number 7, Sean Mindas, the Toms River native from New Jersey. Just finished his sophomore year from Keystone College.
2 away in the bottom of the first. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 1-0 as left fielder Mindas now hits righty for Batavia. He sends the first pitch to right field, and that one's pulled in by Kaiser for the final out. So the Muckdogs score 1 run and hold the lead heading into the 2nd inning.
What do we got here today? What do you guys got?
How can I help you?
What do you recommend?
We just got a fresh batch of Eli Fish's Muckdog Ale.
Muckdog Ale? Go Dogs! Give me some of those.
Muckdog
Ale coming right up.
Muckdog Ale!
Go Dogs, baby!
Start of the 2nd inning here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 1-0. Jared Valentin joined by Landon Washburn. Landon already 1 inning in, and Batavia already on the board.
Yeah, great start for Batavia. Matt Misiti does his job, going 1, 2, 3. In the top half of the first, and Lucas Lopez, leadoff single. He comes around to score off the Jake Butler sack fly, and it's 1-0 at the top of the second inning here.
Lopez dominated in the last game against the Tarp Skunks and already picking up where he left off. Bobby Stang, the leadoff hitter for the Tarp Skunks in the second inning. He takes the first pitch. Ball one.
Bobby Stang, in the top of the categories for a lot of the hitting statistics for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Leads the team in at-bats with 62. Leads the team in batting average with a 403. He's also second on the team in RBIs with 10. And second on the team with walks with 9.
Stang yet to swing, and he already has a 2-1 count. Matt Misiti still on the mound for the Muckdogs. And that next pitch is up and inside to the righty Stang. Stang already facing a hitter's count. Next pitch from Misiti, swing and a miss from Stang.
Big cut there from Stang, trying to get all of that one. Just misses.
Payoff pitch from Misiti. Going outside. And that's the first out. Umpire ruled that one strike 3. Kobe Jones, next in the order for the Tarp Skunks. A lefty hitter. Misiti first pitch to Jones. Right at home plate. Jones does an offer, and that's ball 1.
Jones on the year, a 306 batting average with 5 RBIs and 3 walks.
Jones rips on the next pitch from Misiti and sends it to right field for a base hit. Jones on first with 1 out in the top of the second. Batavia leading Jamestown 1-0. And that brings up DJ Stojanovic.
Stojanovic on the year, a 224 batting average with 12 RBIs, which leads the team.
Stojanovic steps in the batter's box and awaits the first pitch from Misiti. Here it is, and it's low and outside for strike 1.
Jones on first base. He's 1 for 2 on the year with stolen bags.
Misiti, glove at the waist, deals the 0-1. Stojanovic hits it foul, just over the Tarp Skunks dugout. And Stojanovic in a quick 0-2 hole already. Misiti, a quick glance at first, throws a pickoff attempt, but Jones is there in time, so he'll stay at the bag. Misiti from the stretch, cannons the 0-2. Curves up and away to the righty Stojanovic, and that's the first ball of the at-bat. Misiti lowers his glove, raises his leg, and darts the pitch. Blowing at the dirt, Romick late to get to it, and Jones runs over to second.
Romick slides to his right, trying to keep that ball in front of him. Just pops off his chest plate there, goes to the left, and Jones takes second base easily.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count for Stojanovic. Misiti eyeing home plate. Takes a quick glance at second now. And lasers the pitch. Stojanovic delivers it foul next to Jamestown's dugout. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stojanovic steps back in the box. And Misiti examines second. Has a glove at his waist and fires the pitch. Stojanovic slaps it foul to the right bleachers once again.
Stojanovic battling back here after being down 0-2 in the first 2 pitches. Now looking at his 7th pitch of the at-bat.
Misiti is set at the mound. Stojanovic set in his stance. Misiti fires the pitch. Next one is low and away. And that's a full count now for Stojanovic after being down 0-2.
Romick behind the dish doing his best to frame that one, but does not fool the home plate umpire, and it'll be a full count.
Payoff pitch from Misiti. Stojanovic slaps it to right field. And it sails just behind the Tarp Skunks bullpen. Vesco went after it, but just a tad late.
Stojanovic now with his 10th pitch of the at-bat. Making Misiti work here.
Stojanovic gets in his stance. Misiti still keeping his eye on second. Delivers the pitch. And that's another one that's fouled off by Stojanovic.
Stojanovic from Fairport, New York, is a senior at Mansfield University.
Glove at Misiti's chin. He lowers it to his waist and fires the 3-2. Swing and a miss from Stojanovic.
And the battle won by Misiti there to record his 2nd strikeout of the game. What a battle that one was between Stojanovic and Misiti.
A long standoff there between Misiti and Stojanovic, but 2 away now for the Tarp Skunks in the top of the 2nd. The Muckdogs leading 1-0, and that brings up the catcher, Henry Juan. Misiti nods at Romick, deals the first pitch. Juan smacks it over to right field. Vesco tries to get after it, but it sails out of the park.
Henry Juan, making his 7th appearance on the season for the Tarp Skunks, has a .300 batting average with 3 RBIs and 3 walks.
That first pitch foul to make the count 0-1 for Juan. Juan, a righty batter, gets in his stance. Misiti, another glance at second, cannons the pitch. Juan takes it for strike 2 of the at-bat. Oh, 0-2 the count for the righty Juan. Misiti deals the next pitch. It's cranked over to center field, and Hammond pulls it in for the final out. No runs on 1 hit for the Tarp Skunks. And that gives the Muckdogs a chance to add on to their lead at home plate. 1-0, 1-0 the score heading into the bottom of the 2nd.
All right, so the green looking about 300 yards straight out, maybe a little bit dog leg right. We'll see what we got here with this draw here.
Hopefully I don't slice this one.
No golfing at Dwyer.
So where should we golf at? What do you mean?
Atticus 10th hole in Attica, New York. 95 Bundle Street.
All right,
We should
we'll
go
take your
there.
word for it.
We should go there.
We'll take your word for it.
the order up for the Muckdogs in the bottom of the second. Batavia leads Jamestown 1-0. James Bolton leading off for the Muckdogs, batting righty. Eli Shed still on the mound for the Tarp Skunks. First pitch is taken by Bolton for ball 1.
James Bolton, in his sixth game of the year, has a .385 batting average with 5 RBIs.
The next pitch to Bolton sneaks into the zone for strike 1. One the count. Here's the next pitch from Shed, and it's grounded right back at the mound. Shed was a little hesitant to catch it, but he ultimately makes the play to first, and Stang gets the out.
Yeah, that ball right back up the middle, back at Shed. Kind of ricocheted, it looks like, off his glove, maybe hit him in the face a little bit, but gathers himself and fires the ball over to Stagg at first base to retire Bolton.
That brings up Trevor Dutra, the lefty hitter, also on first base today for the Muckdogs. First pitch to Dutra. He smacks it over to right field, and Kaiser gets underneath it for the second out.
So 2 quick outs for the Muckdogs to start the bottom of the second inning. And that brings up Jacob Vesco. Vesco out of the University of Dayton. Vesco on the year has a .212 batting average with 3 RBIs.
Righty Vesco does an offer on the first pitch, and that's ball 1. Shed, glove at the waist, raises the leg, deals the pitch. Curves inside, and that evens the count at 1-1. Glove behind. Shed's back. He deals the pitch. Swing and a miss from Vesco. Count falls to 1-2. Shed. Ball hangs out of his left hand. Inserts it in the glove. Deals the pitch from the stretch. Up and away to the righty Vesco for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count for the righty Vesco. On a check swing, and that brings it to a full count. Vesco steps back into the batter's box, awaits the next pitch from the lefty Shed. Here it is. Up and outside for ball 4, and that brings Vesco to first.
That's Vesco's 3rd walk on the year.
2 away with 1 runner on in the bottom of the second. Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 1-0. And Caleb Walker, the junior out of Alfred State, now hitting lefty for Batavia.
Walker on the season, a .281 batting average with 5 RBIs and 9 walks.
Walker doesn't bite on the first pitch, and it's low and away for ball 1.
Shed just caught that ball one-handed back from the catcher, and that was fantastic. I don't know if you saw that, Jared. That was awesome.
I didn't get to see it, but now I wish I did. As Shed deals this next pitch. That curves a bit more inside, but still away to the lefty Walker for ball 2.
Shed, glove down, looks over at Vesco at first and just like snake eyes, catches the ball, and I say, what am I doing wrong in my life?
I wish I had those reflexes as Walker swings and misses on that pitch, and the count falls to 2-1. Shed throws a pickoff attempt, but Vesco remains at first. Shed has the ball hanging out of his left hand, lowers the glove to the waist, and cannons the pitch. Just a tad inside of the lefty Walker. He doesn't go, and the count rises to 3-1.
Vesco has not attempted a stolen base on the year.
Vesco currently with a 2-step lead off of first. The next pitch from Shed gets Walker to hack at it, but he doesn't make contact, and it's a full count now.
With a full count and 2 outs, Vesco will be on the move over there at first base on the pitch.
Takes a slightly bigger lead. Shed looks down at the glove, darts the pitch. Low and inside for ball 4, and that's back-to-back walks for the lefty pitcher Eli Shed. Still 2 away in the bottom of the second. Muckdogs hold a 1-0 advantage over the Tarp Skunks with Vesco at second and Walker at first, and that brings up the center fielder Travis Hammond.
Hammond's starting to find some rhythm here in the midst of the season. Now holds a .238 batting average. He's also drawn 10 walks.
First pitch is taken by Hammond for ball 1. Shed takes a longer look at second. Settles on throwing the pitch. And Hammond once again does an offer on it. The pitch low and at the plate for ball 2.
Hammond, although he does only have 5 hits on the season, he's second on the team in batting in on base percentage with a .529. So productive at bats all around for Hammond.
Hammond quickly ahead in the count. Shed twirls around at the mound to try and throw a pickoff attempt, but he doesn't get it off.
Maybe some miscommunication there between Shed and McLean Banks, the second baseman. McLean Banks never really at the bag when Shed wants to throw it over.
That's a bit of a lack of coordination there as Shed finally deals the next pitch. And a check swing from Hammond. They'll say he went for it. 2-1 the count for the righty Hammond. With 1 runner in scoring position for the Muckdogs. Shed, glove at the chest. Deals the pitch from the stretch. That one's up and away to the righty Hammond. And the count rises to 3-1.
And in the first inning, we saw Shed's 2-seam fastball really be dialed in, finding the zone. So far in the second inning, starting to struggle a little bit. That 2-seam running way outside to these right-handed batters.
Another ball would walk Hammond, and that would be 3 consecutive walks. And there it is. I've spoken into existence. Bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the second as Hammond was just walked over from that curveball that was low at his knees almost.
Hammond, although it doesn't get a hit in the stat sheet, another productive at-bat, drawing a walk. That's now 3 straight for the Muckdogs to load the bases and top the lineup. Back up in Lucas Lopez, who had that leadoff walk.
Lucas Lopez marking the top of the order, as you mentioned. Has 2 outs, but can still bring in one of his teammates home to extend the lead. Muckdogs currently holding a 1-0 advantage.
And that's one thing Jamestown does not want to do. They want to limit the damage in scenarios like this. They've been outscored against Batavia so far in the 4 games, 39-9. They do not want to allow any more than these 6-run games.
Lopez leading the team in hits with 23 on the season. Shed puts the ball in his glove and cannons the pitch. Low, but rolled a strike, and that's an 0-1 count for the lefty Lopez. Rather, the count is even at 1-1. As the first pitch of the at-bat was a ball. Here's the next one from Shed, and that one's way outside. The catcher, Juwan, having to move a little from his stance. The count rises to 2 balls, 1 strike.
This lefty-lefty matchup between Shed and Lopez, although it's only the 2nd inning, you got to feel like if Batavia can get a base hit and score 2, Jamestown has got a lot of work to get back in this ball game.
Infielders moving in a little bit as Lopez slaps that one foul over Batavia's dugout.
In the 4 games so far between Batavia and Jamestown, Jamestown's most runs scored in the game is 3. Batavia's is 15.
That win taking place the other night marked the first Mercy Rule win of the season for the Muckdogs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count for the lefty Lopez.
Lopez calling time, letting Shed know that's his box.
He steps back in the box. And Shed gets ready to deliver the pitch. Curves outside for ball 3. Lopez with a great eye that time, not taking the bait.
And that's an excellent miss from Shed. Could have been strike 3, but it's going to be a full count. Runners will be in motion here with 2 outs.
One more walk brings Vesco home from third. Here's the pitch. Lopez cranks it to right field, but it's fouled off.
Lopez extremely early on that one. And you know, our owner, Robbie Nichols, we got to get more balls out here because I think that's like 7 or 8 we've lost so far. And it's the 2nd inning.
I think that at-bat from DJ Stojanovic earlier today did it.
that lost, I think, 4 alone.
Yeah, several foul balls hit and sliced towards the Jamestown dugout as the next pitch is swung on and missed by Lopez. And despite loading the bases, the Muckdogs leave runners at each of them. 1-0 still the score heading into the 3rd inning.
Yo, Eric and Jason, where'd y'all get this car at?
Pellegrino,
Where's that at?
Batavia.
The best auto dealership in Western New York.
Middle of the order up for the Tarp Skunks as we begin the third inning here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs, after loading the bases, couldn't bring any runners home, so the score still stands at 1-0 in favor of Batavia. And Aiden Wallace, the designated hitter, leading off for Jamestown, batting righty.
Wallace, the Buffalo native, just finished his senior year at the University of Tampa. So far, Wallace on the season, a .214 batting average with 5 RBIs and 6 walks.
The right-handed pitcher, Misiti, still on the mound for Batavia. As he throws the first pitch. Low and away to the righty, Wallace, for strike one. Misiti gets in his stance and guns the next pitch. Lands in the same spot as the first one. Hits the dirt, and Romick was a little confused because he didn't corral it right away. Nevertheless, the count evens to 1-1. Next pitch from Misiti is outside once again for ball 2. A quick 2-1 count for Wallace. As the next pitch from Misiti again high to Wallace, and it's already a hitter's count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the delivery. Outside again for ball 4. And Misiti walks the first Jamestown batter.
And Misiti a little frustrated with himself there. Gives up the leadoff walk. Wallace now stands at first base. Misiti trying to do everything he can to find some rhythm and gain some control early in this ball game.
This brings up the right fielder, Clayton Kaiser, batting lefty, as he whiffs on the first pitch, but can't hit it.
Misiti's done a great job so far. That's only his first walk he's given up. He also has only given up 1 hit through the first 2 frames for Jamestown.
No balls, 1 strike, the count for the lefty Kaiser, as he takes the next one for ball 1 of the at-bat.
Kaiser, a .143 batting average with 2 RBIs and 8 walks.
Wallace takes a few steps off of first. Misiti deals the next pitch. Another swing and a miss by Kaiser, and the count falls to 1-2.
And Wallace at first base has a pretty good-sized lead. Still has not attempted a stolen base so far on the season for Jamestown.
Misiti turns his neck to eye at first and throws a pickoff attempt. Wallace still safe. Misiti deals the 1-2. High and outside of the lefty Wallace. And that evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Misiti glove at his waist. Cannons the pitch. And that's strike 3 as Wallace was caught swinging.
And Misiti now records his 3rd strikeout on the evening.
1 away in the top of the 3rd. The Muckdogs lead 1-0 over the Tarp Skunks with 1 Jamestown runner on at first. And that brings up the back of the order, the second baseman, Brandon McClain-Banks, who takes the first pitch for ball 1.
McClain-Banks on the season has a .125 batting average with 2 RBIs and 3 walks.
Misiti, the delivery to the righty Banks, sneaks inside for strike 1. Misiti, glove at his belt, releases the pitch. Banks cranks it foul. That one lands near the Tarp Skunks bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count for Banks. Misiti deals the next pitch. Check swing from Banks. They'll say he didn't go. Banks has a 2-2 count. Steps back inside the righty batter's box. And gets set in his stance. Misiti lowers his glove and darts the pitch. Banks cracks it over to right field, and that's the second baseman, Caleb Walker, who gets after it and makes the catch.
Great play by Walker there to make a basket catch towards that right field foul line. Vesco running in from his right field position, but it'll be Walker who records the out.
Suddenly 2 away for the Tarp Skunks as they trail 1-0 to the Muckdogs. Kaiser, the runner on. Rather, that's Wallace at first.
Sebastianelli is the leadoff man for Jamestown. He's 0 for 1 on the day.
Sebastianelli had a ground out to third in his first at-bat. Faces a 1-0 count and takes that pitch for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes, the count for the lefty Sebastianelli as he swings on that one and immediately falls over.
And that got him right in his own foot on the foul ball. He has that shin guard on, but nothing on that foot, and that's where the ball got him. He's in some pain there. Hopefully everything's okay.
He holds on to his right foot, and the Jamestown managers now coming over to home plate to make sure he's okay. Sebastianelli returns to the batter's box, and a series of applause erupt from the crowd. Sebastianelli faces a 2-1 count with 2 outs and the top of the third and 1 runner on first. Misiti deals the pitch in there for strike 2, and Sebastianelli was caught looking. Misiti has glove at the chin, lowers it to his waist, and fires the pitch. Sebastianelli delivers that one foul into the Muckdogs bullpen.
And the bullpen goes back to playing football.
I've seen a couple of the Muckdogs players playing football during the warm-ups before the game. Haven't really seen it much during the game as that pitch is outside to make the count a full 1. Three balls, 2 strikes, the count for the lefty Sebastianelli. Misiti cannons the pitch, and Sebastianelli sends it foul out of Dwyer behind the left side of the bleachers.
Wallace is in motion there at first base. He will go on the pitch of Misiti.
Sebastianelli takes the pitch and swings on it for strike 3, and that retires the side. So the score, still 1-0 in favor of the Muckdogs midway through the third. And Aiden Wallace, the lone runner for Jamestown, is left stranded at first. More Muckdogs baseball coming up after this.
Hey guys, this is Austin, the play-by-play broadcaster for the Batavia Muckdogs, and I'm here with Dewey at Attica's 10th hole in Attica, New York at 96 Bunnell Street. Dewey's here ready to sink a par. Go ahead, Dewey. Come out to Attica's to play some 9-hole golf. Nice job, Dewey.
I'm just not fast enough. I can't get that.
Why don't you go grab a car from Pellegrino's Auto?
Oh, that's a good idea. Pleasure doing business with you, sir. Here's the keys.
Thank you for the great deal.
Yes,
Have a great
sir.
day.
Thank you. You too.
Bottom of the third here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 1-0. Jared Valentin joined by Landon Washburn. Landon, Batavia, in its last chance at the plate, had the bases loaded with 2 outs, but just couldn't bring any more runners on.
Yeah, Batavia's offense continues to stay hot and stay dangerous. They load the bases all with 2 outs. They drew 3 straight walks before Lucas Lopez unable to capitalize. But that's been the name of the year so far for Batavia, is having productive at-bats. And they do it Wednesday on the second inning, hoping to do some more in the bottom of the third.
Cooper Romick, the righty batter, up for the Muckdogs, as he's already ahead with a 2-0 count.
Romick is 0 for 1 on the day with the strikeout.
Eli Shed, the pitcher, still on the mound for the Tarp Skunks, as Romick is yet to swing and already faces a 3-0 count.
Romick most likely going to get the red light here. Make Shed throw him a strike before Skip lets him get a crack at it.
The pitch to the righty. Romick low at the dirt for ball 4. So 4 pitches and 4 balls for Eli Shed, and that sends Romick over to first.
That brings up Jake Butler, the third baseman for the Batavia Muckdogs. He had a sac fly in the first inning, which scored Lucas Lopez for the only run of the game so far.
Butler batting righty, takes the first pitch for ball 1.
That's now 5 straight balls to start the third inning for Eli Shed. Just trying to help himself out here and throw a strike.
Romick has a 2-step lead off of first, as Butler swings and misses on the next pitch.
Butler chased upstairs with that high fastball. He really wanted that one, and now the count's even at 1-1.
Butler steps back in the batter's box, gets in his stance, and Shed throws the pitch. It's taken by Butler for strike 2, as that one was way outside, but the umpire called it a strike. So 1-2 count for the righty Butler. And Shed delivers the next pitch, and it's up and away for ball 2. Shed, glove in his chest, eyes first, and delivers the pitch. Butler hits it, and it dribbles foul past Batavia's dugout, and the count remains at 2-2.
Butler, one of the 11 Batavia Muckdog hitters with a 400 on-base percentage. Butler sits at a 452.
Butler's certainly turned it around this season after a bit of a slow start, as he takes that next outside pitch for ball 3.
And we saw in the first plate appearance the sacrifice fly to bring in Lopez. In this plate appearance, drawing a full count, making Shed work on the mound, and we'll see what he can do here at the full count.
Payoff pitch to Butler is up and away once again for ball 4. Now the first two Muckdogs hitters have been walked.
And Butler productive at bat, drawing a walk, and it's 2-man on with no outs. For the cleanup hitter, Anthony Greco, still no movement in the Jamestown bullpen as we now see a couple bodies running over there to warm up.
Batavia still ahead 1-0 with runners on first and second as lefty Anthony Greco stands flat-footed on the first pitch for ball 1.
That ball really inside, almost hit Greco, had to turn away.
Shed has the ball in his left hand, puts it in his glove and cannons the pitch. That one curves inside for strike 1, and the crowd is a little bit disappointed in that call.
Great off speed there to even the count at 1-1. Greco keeping him guessing on what he's going to throw next.
Shed keeping his eye on second, takes another glance and darts the pitch. Greco sends it foul over the backstop. The lefty Greco faces a 1-2 count and has one teammate in scoring position. Shed, the 1-2 to Greco. Greco does an offer on it, and the count increases to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And what about the trust that Skip has in Anthony Greco to not bunt him? We see Skip play the small ball, and the first 2 men on with no outs. Maybe managers look to bunt, not Greco.
Skip, the Muckdogs head coach, who's currently standing at third as Greco barely makes contact with that one, and it rolls behind the dish. Greco still alive as he faces a 2-2 count. Still no outs for the Muckdogs here in the bottom of the third. Shed glances at second and releases the pitch. Greco cranks that one over to right field, and Kaiser takes a few steps and gets underneath it for out number one, that is. And that brings Romick to third in the process. So runners at the corners for the Muckdogs following that sac fly.
And Kaiser thought there might have been a play at third base with Romick as he tagged up, but Kaiser elects to pump fake as he saw Butler running to second. He pump fake, thought about throwing the ball to first or to second base to get Butler, and decided it's not to throw, and it's going to be first and third for Batavia.
So 1 out for the Muckdogs. Batavia leads 1-0 over Jamestown. And that brings up the left fielder, Sean Mendaz, who takes the first pitch for a ball.
Mendaz 0 for 1 on the evening with a fly out to Kaiser in right field.
Shed set in his stance, cranks the pitch as that one swung on and missed by Mendaz to even the count at 1-1.
And Jake Butler at first base is 3 for 4 on the year in stolen bags. You feel like he might be trying to advance into scoring position, but with the left-hander Shed on the mound, it'll be hard for him to get a good jump.
The 1-1 delivery to Mendaz is thrown to second as Butler sprinted over to the next base, and he's safe there. So that brings 2 runners in scoring position for Batavia.
Just as we mentioned, Butler now steals second base, and now 2 men in scoring position for Mendaz.
Mendaz faces a 1-2 count. as he awaits the next pitch from Shed, and it's high and outside for ball 2. Shed, glove at his chest, curves the next pitch to Mendez, and it looked like it hit him in the shoulder, but just missed him. Nevertheless, a full count for the righty Mendez, with Butler and Romick both in scoring position. The next pitch to Mendez, way outside for ball 4, and that's another walk now for the pitcher Eli Shed.
Shed now has 7 walks on the evening, and it's Simon Aluku warming up in the bullpen for Jamestown.
Bases loaded for the Muckdogs with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. And Batavia holds a 1-0 lead. And that walk brings up James Bolton, batting righty.
Bolton starting to see some more action in the lineup. Exploded for a 3-hit night at Niagara Falls, June 24th. Since then, in the last 3 games, has been in the lineup for Skip. And Jared, I think we might be seeing more of him as the summer progresses.
Had a minor injury at the start of the season, now is back in the lineup, and he's someone who has a lot of winning experience. He's a sophomore out of SUNY Cortland, and SUNY Cortland this past season made it to the SUNYAC championship before losing to SUNY New Paltz 15-11, as that first pitch is ruled ball 1.
James Bolton, a .385 batting average through the first 5 games.
The next pitch to Bolton, just below the knees for the second ball. So Bolton has yet to swing and is already ahead 2-0 in the count.
Shed struggling to find the strike zone. He's now thrown 75 pitches through 2 1/3. And of those 75, 41 have been balls.
Certainly seen a lot more balls in this inning, as that next pitch, once again, low near the toes for ball 3.
Shed, although last inning had the same situation, bases loaded, he did work out of his jam, and we'll see if he can do it today. Do it now.
Bases were loaded with 2 outs in the last inning, as he got out of that jam, trying to get out of this one, as you mentioned. But that pitch curves inside for strike 1, as Bolton doesn't offer.
Shed would love a hard ground ball right to the middle infield right about now to get a double play and get out of this inning.
Shed has a glove at his chest, darts the pitch. Check swing from Bolton, and they're going to say he didn't go, so that's ball 4. And Romick steadily jogs home, marking the 2nd run scored today by the Muckdogs. And now Batavia holds a 2-0 advantage over Jamestown. The Tarp Skunks quickly talking things over at the mound. Don't want to let any more runs pile on and find their way home. So we'll take a few moments to step aside while Jamestown's talking things over. But don't go anywhere. More baseball from Dwyer Stadium coming up shortly.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Can I get one general admission ticket, please?
All right, so that's going to be $9. Having a great season, man.
Yeah.
First place.
First place,
I love it.
Muckdogs.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
If you would like tickets, call our number at 585-524-2260. Go Dogs.
New pitcher on the mound for the Tarp Skunks. It's Simon Aluko getting ready to try and help Jamestown get out of this jam. Batavia has the bases loaded with only one out in the bottom of the third, and Muckdogs lead 2-0.
Aluko on the mound. He's done a little bit of everything for Jamestown this year. He started a game, he has a save, and now we see him in the middle innings for the Tarp Skunks. So far on the year, he's 1-0 with a 1.28 ERA through 3 games. He's got 7 innings, 11 strikeouts. He's also only allowed 3 hits so far on the year.
For the Muckdogs, it's the lefty Trevor Dutra next up to hit. Dutra, a sophomore out of Lafayette College. His older brother, Chris Dutra, played baseball at Duke University, as that first pitch is ruled ball 1. But like I mentioned, baseball running in the family for Trevor Dutra. His older brother played at Duke, and his great uncle, Ralph Branca, a 3-time Major League Baseball All-Star for the Brooklyn Dodgers, Detroit Tigers, and the New York Yankees.
Dutra 0 for 1 on the evening with a fly out to Kaiser out there in right field.
2 balls, no strikes. The count for the lefty Dutra, as Aluko deals the pitch from the stretch. Way inside, almost clips the knees of Dutra, but nevertheless the count rises to 3-0.
Aluko struggling to find the strike zone. His first 3 pitches have all been balls.
One more ball would walk in another runner for the Muckdogs. Here's the pitch. Inside right at Dutra's chest, and that's ball 4. So great discipline by these Muckdog hitters, and another runner, this time Jake Butler, fully completes his trip around the diamond to inflate the lead to 3. Batavia up 3-0 over Jamestown.
That'll bring in Jacob Vesco, who had a walk in his first plate appearance.
Aluko cranks the first pitch to Vesco. Down the middle for strike 1. Base is still loaded for the Muckdogs. Aluko, glove at his belt, takes a deep breath and darts the pitch. A check swing from Vesco, and they'll say he went. So Vesco already in a 0-2 hole. Aluko, ball hangs out of his left hand. He puts it in the glove and delivers the 0-2. Vesco, swing and a miss, and that's the second out for the Muckdogs.
And Aluko now starting to settle in there. Records his first strikeout of the day. And that's the kind of stuff that Aluko can do. Is he's a very dangerous pitcher when he is on his stuff, as we saw showcased right there against Vesco.
That brings up the lefty Caleb Walker, who was walked in his first at-bat. Aluko, the first pitch. Dead center for strike one as Walker was caught looking. No balls, one strike, the count for Walker. Aluko lowers the glove and cannons the pitch. Curves low and outside for strike two, and that's another runner, another hitter, Caleb Walker, already in an 0-2 hole. Aluko back in his stance, gets set, and deals the pitch way low and outside, and Juwan having to move a few steps over from his position to corral that one.
And that's a great stop by Juwan. If that does not go, if he doesn't stop that, Mindas is going to come in and score and further this Muckdog lead.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count for the lefty Walker, with bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the third. The next pitch, high and inside. Walker doesn't offer on it, and that evens the count at 2-2. Aluko, the 2-2 delivery. Walker grounds it up towards the second baseman Banks, who throws it to first for the final out. So the Muckdogs add 2 more runs to their total, and they currently sit in front 3-0 over the Tarp Skunks.
All right, fans, time to recognize our service members in attendance today, presented by Turnbull Heating and Cooling. At this time, I'd like to ask all active and...
Jeez, this guy stinks. Go to the bullpen. Ready?
Me? Ow. Thanks to these Muckdogs jerseys, which you can buy now, I'm still fresh and still clean.
Lead 3-0 over the Tarp Skunks as we begin the 4th inning here in Dwyer Stadium. Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn today. And Landon, the last chance at the plate for the Muckdogs. Lots of walks and 2 runners coming home as a result.
Yeah, Batavia continue to keep the pressure on Jamestown when they're on offense. As we see the pitch from Misiti there. They're doing a great job when they're at the plate of keeping the pressure on Jamestown, having productive at-bats, whether it be getting base hits or drawing. They've drawn 8 walks through the first 3 frames, and just continue to have productive at-bats and getting base runners on has been the name of the game so far, and we'd like to see them continue to do that.
The righty Leo Doyle now hitting for Jamestown is already in a quick 1-2 deficit.
They've got 8 walks and 1 hit and 3 runs to show for it.
Doyle had a fly out to right field in his first at-bat. Takes this next pitch from Misiti for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count for Doyle. Here's the next pitch from Misiti. up and away. And that's a full count for Leo Doyle. Doyle sends that next pitch. A foul a few feet away from him, past the first base line. Misiti, ball hangs out of his glove and deals the pitch. Doyle swacks that one over to right field, and Vesco picks up the out.
We talked about the wind here. That ball out in shallow right field kind of just died, in Vesco on the run, able to catch that one for the first out of the 4th inning.
That brings up the third baseman, Tommy Schroeder, a right-handed hitter. 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to third in his first at-bat. Takes the first pitch. 4-1 as it was low and outside. Schroeder doesn't offer on the next pitch and is already in a 2-0 advantage. Misiti, the 2-0 delivery. Ruled strike 1 as Schroeder didn't offer on it. The next pitch to Schroeder. Below at home plate for strike 2. As the next one, it's just a notch outside. And rather, now it's a 2-2 count. Misiti, the pitch, hard at the ground for ball 4. Rather, I was right the first time. It was 3 balls, 2 strikes, and that final pitch was ball 4. So Schroeder's walk to first. And that brings up the first baseman, Bobby Stang, who was recently named the PGCBL West Division Hitter of the Week. Bobby Stang, a righty hitter. Doesn't bite on the first pitch. It's outside for strike 1. Misiti, the 0-1 toss. Swing and a miss from Stang, and the count falls to 0-2. Misiti, from the stretch, lowers his glove and releases the pitch. Bobby Stang is hesitant to swing on that, and that's ball 1 of the at-bat.
Cooper Romick trying to frame that fastball from Misiti, but it'll be a ball.
1-2. Here's the next pickoff attempt at first, but Schroeder's still alive and at the bag. Count remains 1-2 for the righty Schroeder. Misiti cannons the pitch, low and outside to raise the count to 2-2 as Schroeder still doesn't bite on it.
Misiti now ready to deal his 75th pitch of the outing. Still no movement in the Muckdogs bullpen.
The 2-2 throw from Misiti curves way high and outside to the righty Stang, and that brings Stang to a full count.
Schroeder, go ahead.
Glove lowered to his belt. Darts the payoff pitch. Outside of the right batter's box. Rather, the left batter's box for ball 4. And that puts Schroeder in scoring position.
And we now see the assistant coach for the Muckdogs, Grant Beckham, go down to the bullpen. And he's going to talk to Nate Ruth. He'll start warming up a little bit, stretching.
That brings up the lefty batter, Kobe Jones. who stays in his stance on that first pitch for ball 1.
Jones 1 for 1 on the evening with a single to right field.
Misiti glances over at second, but throws the pitch. Low at the plate to the lefty Jones. And the count rises to 2 balls, no strikes.
And a great block there by Cooper Romick behind the dish. If that gets past him, you're going to see 2 runners in scoring position for Jamestown.
Romick, the primary option behind the dish for the Muckdogs this season, and right there, that's why. The next pitch to Jones, a tad inside, and Jones, without swinging, faces a 3-0 count. Misiti, the 4th pitch. Up and inside to the lefty Jones, and that walks him to load the bases.
And we just saw Skip walk out the dugout in motion to the bullpen to get some more action going, as we see Isidro Jimenez head down to the bullpen along with the catcher Siciliano.
That loads the bases for the Tarp Skunks after the Muckdogs had the bases loaded against them. And that brings up the extra hitter, DJ Stojanovic.
So we'll see if Misiti can do the same thing that Jamestown was able to do and get out of a jam with the bases loaded.
Stojanovic 0-1 on the day. Had a strikeout in his first at-bat, as he doesn't bite on the first pitch for strike 1. City has the glove at his chin, makes eye contact with Romick, and releases the pitch. Curves up and inside. And it's ruled ball 1, and the crowd is audibly confused. A couple of children saying, "Say what?" in reference to our sound effects board and that pitch. Next one is low and outside for ball 2. The righty Stojanovic faces a 2-1 count, and there's the next pitch. Stojanovic rips it foul over the grandstand. The count falls to 2 balls, 2 strikes. City has both hands in front of him. Cannons the pitch. Stojanovic tried to graze it, but it's too low for strike 3. And he goes down swinging.
And that ball in the dirt, but Romick does a great job of keeping it in front of him and not letting it go past him. And it'll keep Schroeder at third base. So with 2 outs, bases still loaded. Misiti trying to work out of this jam. And it brings up Juwan, who's 0 for 1 on the evening, with the fly out to Travis Hammond in center field.
Juwan hitting righty for the Tarp Skunks. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Batavia leads Jamestown 3-0 in the bottom of the second with bases loaded in the top of the 4th. Misiti, the next pitch. This one's grounded over to short and thrown to Walker at second for the final out. So the Muckdogs get out of the jam and allow no runners at home. The score midway through the 4th, 3-0 in favor of the Muckdogs.
What do we got here today? What do you guys got?
How can I help you?
What do you recommend?
I don't know, we just got a fresh batch of Eli Fish's Muckdog Ale.
Muckdog Ale? Go Dogs! Give me some of those.
Muckdog Ale
coming right up.
Muckdog Ale!
Go Dogs, baby.
Back of the order up for the Muckdogs as the score is 3-0 in favor of Batavia in the bottom of the fourth. Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn. Landon, Jamestown just now had the bases loaded, but Matt Misiti, the pitcher for the Muckdogs, got out of the jam.
Yeah, great job by Matt Misiti there to work out of it. In Jamestown, they wanted to put some runs up there and make us a little bit closer of a ball game. 3-0, still within striking distance. But in their 4 games so far in the year, they average just over 2 runs a game against Batavia. And they want to put a couple more than 2 today and make it a little bit closer of a ball game here as Batavia leads 3-0.
Jamestown already substituted their starting pitcher as Simon Oluko is now at the mound for the Tarp Skunks, but Batavia still has Matt Misiti on the mound right now as it starts to drizzle here in Dwyer Stadium. Travis Hammond leading off for the Muckdogs, hitting righty. Check swing on the first pitch, and the umpire says he didn't go.
Hammond had a walk in his first plate appearance.
1-0 the count for the righty Hammond as the next pitch is way outside, rolls behind the dish, and Henry Juan, the catcher, missed it out of his glove. A quick 2-0 count for Travis Hammond. Oluko deals the pitch. Just a tad outside of the righty Hammond. He doesn't go, and it's ruled strike 1 of the at-bat.
Great pitch by Oluko there to paint the outside corner and trying to work himself back in this count.
Oluko raises the leg and fires the pitch. It's high to Hammond, and that raises the count to 3-1.
And although Hammond is batting 10th in the lineup, he almost acts as a leadoff hitter for Skip Martinez and the Batavia Muckdogs. When he gets on, he runs, he gets on well, and he has the top of the order right behind him.
Hammond, a guy who does it all for Batavia, as he's walked over to first to get a runner on base for the Muckdogs. And like you mentioned, Landon, that brings up the top of the order, the shortstop, Lucas Lopez.
Lopez 1 for 2 on the evening. He had a single in the first inning, had a strikeout in a second at bat. So we'll see a little lefty-lefty matchup here between Oluko and Lopez.
Lopez, and that first at bat was the first run to score for Batavia today, as he takes the first pitch of this at bat for a ball.
And it'll be interesting to see if Hammond does decide to run. Obviously, a little bit tougher to get a good jump against lefty pitchers.
The next pitch is in there for strike 1.
And with Oluko on the mound, he also has a pretty quick delivery to the plate. We'll see if Hammond gets put in motion from Skip Martinez.
Hammond second on the team in stolen bases with 6 this year, as that next pitch is high and inside to the lefty Lopez for ball 2. Hammond currently with a 2-step lead off of first. Oluko throws a pickoff attempt, but Hammond gets there quickly. Hammond still safe at first. Uluko from the stretch has the glove at his belt and whips the pitch. Hammond gets to second after Lopez stood hesitant on that pitch. The catcher, Henry Juan, didn't throw it in time. And that puts one runner in scoring position. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to the lefty Lopez. Next pitch is low and at the toes for ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Uluko. Has 2 runners on base for the Muckdogs. And that brings up the team's hitter, Cooper Romek, who leads the squad in batting average with 389 this season.
Romick 0 for 1 on the evening with a walk.
Uluko eyes second and first. Throws the pitch. Low at the plate for ball 1.
And Skip trusting his hitters today. First and second with no outs. 2 of the fastest runners on the team on the base paths. Not going to bunt Romick, going to let Romick swing.
Uluko puts the ball in his glove. Takes a few looks at second and darts the pitch. This next one is high to the righty Romick. But it's called strike 1. Rather, that's ball 2. The Uluko thought about a pickoff attempt at second, but didn't release the ball. Back in his stance, delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss from Romick as the count falls to 2-1.
That changeup from Uluko had Romick swinging over top of that one. Trying to work himself back in this count.
Uluko, another glance at second, and cannons the pitch. Romick once again doesn't offer on it, and the count rises to 3-1.
Got to be dangerous here. Hitters count. Got to throw a strike here, and Romick is extremely dangerous at the dish.
Romick was named the PGCBL West Division Hitter of the Week a few weeks ago as he grounds that one to short, and a throw to Banks at second gets the out. So Romick on first due to the throw to Banks at second, and that's runners at the corners for Batavia.
Romick reaches safely on the fielder's choice, and it'll be first and third with 1 out for Jake Butler, who is 0 for 1 on the evening with a fly out and a walk.
Bottom of the 4th, Batavia leads Jamestown 3-0 with runners at the corners and 1 out as Butler tried to bunt on that first pitch, but instead took it for strike 1.
Butler showing bunt. Hammond, very good lead at third base, has excellent speed. Perhaps a suicide squeeze there was in play.
Uluko staring at first, releases the pitch. It's way outside and high to the righty Butler. And that evens up the count at 1-1.
Romick on first base, not amazing speed, but he is 3 for 3 with stolen bags on the season.
The 1-1 to Romick, rather Butler, who took it for strike 2.
Butler would love to see one put in play here, perhaps score Hammond, but he's looking for just a productive at bat. Doesn't matter how he gets on. He prides himself on getting on, whether it be a hit, a walk, or a hit by pitch.
The next pitch to Butler is smacked out to shallow right, and it's pulled in by Bobby Stang for the second out of the inning.
Butler way under that one. Sky highs that right to the first baseman, Stang, for the second out of the inning. And Batavia looking to capitalize here. They had first and second with no outs. Now first and third with 2 outs with the cleanup hitter Anthony Greco up. Looking for a base hit to at least put 1 run up here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
The pickoff attempt to Romick is no good.
Greco 0 for 1 on the evening with a walk and a fly out to the right fielder.
The pitch to the lefty. Greco is hit foul near the Tarp Skunks dugout. No balls, 1 strike, the count for the lefty Greco. Luco deals the pitch, curves low, and ruled strike 2 by the umpire. So Greco quickly in an 0-2 hole. Luco from the stretch. Cannons the pitch. Curves way outside. Romick makes it over to second. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Batavia. Luco, the 1-2 count to Greco. He sends it fair. Rather, it was foul. It was a liner out to the third base line. Was hooked just a few inches left. And the crowd thought it was fair. So we'll do it all over again.
That ball was about 2 feet from being up on the chalk, and that would have easily brought in 2 for Greco.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to the lefty Greco. This one he pops up right to the third baseman Schroeder for the final out. So 2 runners left on base for Batavia. And the score still 3-0 in favor of the Muckdogs heading into the 5th inning.
Ruth.
Hello, my name's Jim Kilgan. Hey guys, this is Austin, the play-by-play broadcaster for the Batavia Muckdogs, and I'm here with Dewey at Attica's 10th hole in Attica, New York at 96 Bunnell Street. Dewey's here ready to sink a par. Go ahead, Dewey. Come out to Attica's to play some 9-hole golf. Nice job, Dewey.
Yo, Eric and Jason, where'd y'all get this car at?
Pellegrino.
Where's that at?
Batavia.
The best auto dealership in Western New York.
Start of the 5th inning here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 3-0. And a new pitcher now on the mound for Batavia. It's Nathan Ruth. Checking in on Ruth's stats this season. In 6 innings pitched, has a .450 ERA, has let up 3 hits and has thrown 7 strikeouts. Ruth, a native out of Union Beach, New Jersey, a lefty pitcher. So Ruth takes a few warm-up pitches with the catcher, Cooper Romick. And getting ready to hit for Jamestown is the designated hitter, Aiden Wallace.
Wallace had a walk in his first at-bat.
Wallace batting righty. Romick and Ruth talking things over at the mound. But Romick heads back to home plate. Ruth gets set in his stance and fires the first pitch from the windup. A check swing by Wallace, and the umpire says he went for it. No balls, 1 strike, the count for Wallace as he grazes the next pitch foul. The ball lands just behind him and left of home plate. The 0-2 delivery from Ruth is popped up over the grandstand foul.
Nate Ruth, in his first 3 outings for the Muckdogs, 6 strikeouts, and only gave up 2 hits through 5 2/3 innings.
Next pitch from Ruth is below the knees for ball 1.
In his last outing against Auburn, he had 1/3 inning with 2 earned runs and 1 strikeout.
Ruth deals another pitch at the dirt, and the count rises to 2-2.
In his 5th appearance of the season, he's looking to rebound from that Auburn performance and have a good outing here.
Ruth fires the next pitch. Wallace rips it up the middle for a base hit as it sneaks its way just behind the infield.
And that ball rocketed by Wallace back up the middle, timed it perfectly at the bat. And it'll be a leadoff single to start the top of the 5th inning.
That brings up Clayton Kaiser, the right fielder, hitting lefty. Kaiser 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to second in his first at-bat. He goes for the first pitch, but couldn't hit it, and that's strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, the count for the lefty Kaiser as he sends the next pitch up the middle, and it's caught by Lopez at short.
Little flare out there. Just on the edge of the dirt out there towards left center. Lopez tracks back and catches it over his shoulders to retire Kaiser.
Batavia still in front 3-0 over the Tarp Skunks in the top of the 5th with 1 away and 1 Jamestown runner on first. That brings up the back of the order, McLean Banks, who pops up the first pitch in between the first and second base gap, and it's corralled by Walker for the second out.
Hammond and Vesco both running in, but it'll be Walker who settles under it to retire McLean Banks.
And a pinch hitter now in store for the Tarp Skunks. It's Austin Matranga hitting lefty. Ruth fires the first pitch. Right down the middle for strike one as Matranga watched it go by. The next pitch from Ruth, a bit lower than the first one, and ruled strike two of the at-bat as Matranga still stood patient on it.
Matranga has a .306 batting average with 6 RBIs and 7 walks.
The 0-2 from Ruth is hit just past home plate and missed by Ruth on the throw to first. So Matranga is safe, and that'll be a base hit for the lefty hitter.
Tough play from Ruth there on a couple of situations. One, he's a lefty, so when he throws, he's going to be kind of his body's angled towards third base. So to go run across the mound towards that first base foul line, tough for Ruth. He tries to barehand it too, and just unable to make the play at first base.
That puts another runner in scoring position. Excuse me, one runner in scoring position at second. The first pitch from Ruth to the righty. Doyle is fouled off over the grandstand. Doyle set in his stance. Ruth. A quick look at second. And releases the pitch. A swing and a miss from Doyle. Brings the count to 0-2.
Doyle 0 for 2 on the evening with 2 flyouts to the right fielder, Jacob Vesco, all in the same spot out there in shallow right center field.
No balls, 2 strikes. Glove at the belt for Ruth. He erases it and releases the pitch. Doyle delivers it out to left field, and it's pulled in by Mendaz for the last out. 2 runners left on base for the Tarp Skunks as we head to the bottom of the 5th. The score 3-0 in favor of the Muckdogs. Bottom of the 5th here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 3-0. Jared Valentin joined by Landon Washburn here in the booth, and Nathan Ruth came on to the mound for the Muckdogs in the top of the 5th. Had 2 runners on base, but didn't allow any to make their way all around.
Yeah, it works out of a little bit of a jam there. And that's kind of what Nathan Ruth's been all year for Skip Martinez and Batavia Muckdogs. He comes out of the bullpen, he does his job. And no earned runs through the top of the 5th for Ruth, and we'll see if he continues to stay out there in the top of the 6th.
Sean Mendaz leading off for the Muckdogs as he hacks at the first pitch but couldn't make contact, and that's strike 1.
Mendaz tied for 3rd on the team in hits this season with 11.
The 0-1 delivery from Oluco. Mendaz made contact on it, but was ruled foul. Pitch barely even left the dish as it was just in front of the lefty's batter's box. And Mendaz in an 0-2 hole. Aluko, glove at the belt, deals the pitch. Curves inside to the righty Mendez for ball one. Mendez steps out of the batter's box briefly, but starts to walk back. Just taking a few extra moments to get in his stance as he finally returns and gets ready to hit. Aluko lowers the glove to his waist and guns the pitch. Another curveball inside to Mendez. And that one's ruled ball three.
And it's Niagara's University, Gage Wheaton in the bullpen for the Muckdogs.
Wheaton has only appeared in 2 games for the Muckdogs this season, as Mendez sends that one out to right field, but it slices foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count for the righty Mendez. And Gage Wheaton, the pitcher you mentioned warming up in the bullpen, appeared in his first game a little bit later into the season due to his season still ongoing at Niagara University. Niagara made it to regionals before losing 2 games, and that brought Wheaton to the Muckdogs this summer. The payoff pitch from Aluko is still a 3-2 count. The next pitch from Aluko, way outside, no question about it, and that's ball 4.
So Mendez draws a leadoff walk for the Muckdogs. And no Tarp Skunks in the bullpen. It'll be Simon Aluko's time to shine here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leadoff walk. Hopefully he can get out of the jam for the Tarp Skunks.
Bolton batting righty. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. So 1 runner on with no outs in the bottom of the 5th. The Muckdogs sit in front 3-0 over the Tarp Skunks. Next pitch from Aluko. Just a notch too low for ball 2. Rather, that's ball 1. A little mistake there. Aluko from the stretch cannons the next pitch. Just a bit outside to the righty Bolton. And that rises the count to 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, the delivery. Bolton does an offer on it, and the count moves up to 3-1. Aluko from the stretch delivers the pitch. Ruled strike 2 as it was dead center, and Bolton stood flat-footed. Three balls, 2 strikes, the count for Bolton. Here's the next pitch. Way outside for ball 4, and he's walked over to first.
So back-to-back walks for the Muckdogs. That'll bring up Trevor Dutra, who's 0 for 1 on the day, with a fly-out and a walk.
Dutra, lefty hitter. As Aluko eyes second, but deals the pitch.
Yeah, I just
Lopez
looked at it, yeah.
hits on it, but it rolls foul a few feet right of home plate. Dutra down 0-1 in the count. Steps back into the batter's box and awaits the next pitch. Aluko bends over, has the ball at his knees, puts it in his glove, and releases the pitch. Nails Dutra in the back, and he's walked over to first.
Dutra hit by that pitch, that'll load the bases. Just saw this stat. Jamestown has 13 walks on the evening through the first 4 innings. And also now 1 hit by a pitch. So 14 batters have been gifted first base through the first 4 innings. And still, only a 3-0 game, Jared.
Batavia hasn't had a ton of success capitalizing off of all those walks. Have left runners stranded over the last few innings.
They haven't had a hit since the first batter of the game, Lucas Lopez.
Yeah, and suddenly, with 0 outs, you'd have to think that
they got to score
time,
1.
They finally do it, yeah. As Jacob Vesco, the righty hitter, takes the first pitch for strike 1.
Vesco 0 for 1 with a walk.
One of the many walks dealt so far. The next pitch to Vesco swung on and missed for strike 2.
And watch, we say this, and now Vesco's down 0-2.
He's in an 0-2 hole, but can battle back. Just needs a base hit to bring one more runner home. Aluko raises the leg, deals the pitch. Vesco fouls it over the backstop. Vesco gets back in the box. Is set in his stance, and Aluko set in his at the mound. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 for Vesco as he was caught swinging, and that's the first out.
So despite the bases loaded and no outs, Aluko helps himself by getting a strikeout there. Still no movement in the Tarp Skunks bullpen. That's Aluko's now second inning. He's now up to 2 innings. He does have the stamina. He's gone 4 innings in his last outing last week versus Newark.
That brings up the lefty Caleb Walker, who doesn't offer on that inside pitch, and the count rises to 1-0.
Walker 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk.
Another Muckdog batter who was walked today. The next pitch, another walk to Caleb Walker as he's hit in the back and was visibly frustrated at that pitch as he threw the bat past home plate. But nevertheless, a run scores for the Muckdogs.
And I know Walker wanted a hit, but he got an RBI. And that's just as good as a hit.
At the end of the day, the score still increases to 4 runs for the Muckdogs. Batavia leads by 4 with 1 out and bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th.
And also, we keep saying, you know, Caleb Walker, walk. Jacob Vesco, walk. I'm gonna say this. Everyone in Batavia's lineup has walked once, at least. So you guys might get used to it some more.
got a great set of eyes, this roster does, as you mentioned every single one of these batters has been walked at least once. That brings up the back of the order, Travis Hammond. a righty hitter.
And that's exactly what Batavia needed, was to get back on track. Obviously, they hit that 9-game win streak.
Since then, it's been a little bit of a back and forth in the win and loss column for the Muckdogs as that first pitch.
They've had their struggles. They've had
by Hammond for ball 1.
They've had close games. It's just these close games are losses, and it doesn't matter if you lose 15-1 or 2-1, as our owner Robbie Nichols says. It's a loss in the stat sheet.
At the end of the day, it's in the loss column, no matter what the margin of deficit was.
Absolutely. And for Batavia, it's just them trying to find and reestablish a rhythm of getting consistent W's. And Jamestown's been the same story this year. Obviously, they hit that 6-game losing streak, and then since then, trying to find a rhythm as well, winning 5 of their last 8.
A little bit of inconsistency as of late for the Muckdogs, but one area as that pitch is taken for strike 2. One bit of consistency for the Muckdogs this season has been their season series against Jamestown. Batavia undefeated at 4-0 this year against the Tarp Skunks, and the last matchup a few days ago ending after 6 innings due to a mercy rule. Batavia taking that one 15-2.
And it's just productive at bats for Batavia tonight. Like you said, although only 1 hit, which was the first batter of the game, back all the way in the first inning, they've been able to put pressure on these Tarp Skunks pitchers off of having excellent at bats at the plate with drawing walks. Now 13.
Aluko from the stretch. Cannons the pitch to Hammond, who hacks at it to no avail, and he's struck out. 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. The Muckdogs lead 4-0 over the Tarp Skunks. And that brings up the leadoff hitter, Lucas Lopez, the shortstop, hitting lefty.
The Muckdogs now going through the lineup for the 4th time in the 5th inning. And Lopez is 1 for 2 on the evening with a walk.
Lopez, the lone hit of the game for Batavia, as you mentioned earlier. Gets ready for the pitch, and he's hit by a pitch. That's another runner landing that scores for the Muckdogs, and another one who's walked due to a hit by pitch.
3 hit by pitches this inning, 2 of them bringing in runs for the Muckdogs. Every runner on base right now, Dutra at third, Walker at second base, Lopez at first base. They've all been on from hit by pitches.
Certainly not what you like to see if you're Jamestown, but the Muckdogs will take it, capitalizing off of all these hit by pitches and walks, and suddenly what was once a 3-0 lead is now a 5-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
And a chance to add more here as Cooper Romick stands in the batter's box. The most dangerous hitter for Batavia, kind of cooled down as of late, but still just as dangerous as ever when he steps in the box.
Romick 6th in the entire PGCBL in batting average with a .389 as the drizzle here in Dwyer starts to pick up.
This is not a drizzle. This is... I don't want to say heavy rain.
It was once a drizzle.
It was once a drizzle. It is now raining here at Dwyer Stadium.
Now it is a torrential downpour.
Not quite. If it's downpouring, Ventura better come out of the bullpen and slide. I'm just kidding. Ventura's in the press box with us.
To the righty Romick as a quick timeout is called.
Rain delay.
And a rain delay has been announced due to the downpour we were just alluding to, Landon.
Does that mean he's going to make us do the tarp right now, Jared?
I hope not. I did the tarp at 7:30 a.m. a couple days ago, and it was not fun.
Yeah.
But a rain delay here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 5-0 with 2 outs and the bases loaded. We'll take a bit of a break, but we'll be back when this game continues here at Dwyer Stadium. Don't go anywhere. The rain has stopped, and we will be resuming play here in Dwyer Stadium. Before we had our rain delay, the score was 5-0 in favor of the Muckdogs with the bases loaded in the bottom of the second with 2 outs. Cooper Romick was up to the plate. And here in the press box, I'm Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn. And Landon, we're nice and dry in the press box, but the field was pretty soaked.
Yeah, in that 5 minutes of raining, the field got it's got its watering in for the next month, I'd say.
The plants are going to love this one, as a lot of people say.
And Romick now has to step back in the batter's box after being down 0-2. And it's a little bit of a mental game with him, you know. Steps back out, takes about 5-10 minutes of, hey, are we going to play? When's the rain going to stop? Now the rain stops, and he's going to step back in the batter's box, already in an 0-2 hole.
It's always a mental battle when you're in an 0-2 deficit at the plate, but especially after having to take a brief pause for a delay or a game stoppage of some sort, and you have to go back now, acting like it's a fresh at-bat, but in reality you're down 0-2. Tough to battle from it, but if there's anyone who could do it, it's Cooper.
Cooper Romick, one of the leaders on this team, as dangerous as ever when he's in the batter's box, but also a staple behind the dish in the catcher position.
So Romick returns to the plate, and Aluko is still on the mound for the Tarp Skunks. He has the glove at his chest and deals the pitch. Swing and a miss from Romick to conclude the inning. And we head to the 6th after lots of hit-by pitches, walks, loaded bases, rain, you name it. The score, 5-0 in favor of the Muckdogs.
All right, so the green looking about 300 yards straight out, maybe a little bit dog leg right. We'll see what we got here with this draw here.
Hopefully I don't slice this one.
No golfing at Dwyer.
So where should we golf at? What do you mean?
Atticus 10th hole in Attica, New York. 95 Bunnell Street.
All right,
We should
we'll
go
take your
there.
word for it.
We should go there.
We'll take your word for it.
Hey guys, this is Austin, the play-by-play broadcaster for the Batavia Muckdogs, and I'm here with Dewey at Atticus 10th hole in Attica, New York at 96 Bunnell Street. Dewey's here ready to sink a par. Go ahead, Dewey. Come out to Attica's to play some 9-hole golf. Nice job, Dewey.
Start of the 6th here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 5-0. Jared Valentin joined by Landon Washburn, and a new pitcher is on the mound for the Muckdogs. It's Gage Wheaton. Gage Wheaton, a right-handed pitcher from Niagara University, had a lot of team success with the Purple Eagles this season, as Niagara won its first MAAC championship this season, taking down Fairfield 10-6 and making it all the way to the NCAA regionals before losing to number 11 Oklahoma State and number 25 Nebraska. So Wheaton gets ready to warm up. Tommy Schroeder leading off for the Tarp Skunks. And he steps into the box and awaits the first pitch. He takes it for strike one.
Gage Wheaton so far in the season has been a strikeout machine for the Batavia Muckdogs. His Ks per 9, 18, leads the team.
The next pitch from Wheaton, a swing and a miss from Schroeder, and the count falls to 0-2.
Gage Wheaton wasting no time trying to add a strikeout to his stat sheet already.
Gage Wheaton, the 0-2 delivery. In there for strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning.
Gage Wheaton through 2 games has 10 strikeouts. Adds 1 more, now reaching 11 on the season through 5 1/3 innings.
Bobby Stang now up for the Muckdogs. Batting righty, he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Wheaton, the 0-1-0 delivery, rather, low at the dirt for strike 1.
So with Wheaton now on the mound for the Muckdogs, that'll be the day for Nate Ruth. His final stat line, 1 inning with no hits, no runs, and no strikeouts, just a clean inning.
2-1 the count for the righty Stang. With 1 out in the top of the 6th. Next pitch from Wheaton. Up and away and rolled strike 2. That evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wheaton, the 2-2 delivery. In the center for strike 3, and that's another strikeout for Gage Wheaton.
And the Muckdogs throwing around the diamond after that strikeout. The ball hits the dirt, and what was Lopez doing? Hopefully Wheaton can recover and get another strikeout here.
2 away in the top of the 6th. The Muckdogs lead 5-0 over the Tarp Skunks. And that brings up the lefty Kobe Jones to the plate, who swings and misses in his first pitch, landing a plethora of strikes. Next pitch of the liner out to short, picked up by Lopez, thrown to Dutra at first for the final out. No runs on no hits and no errors for Jamestown as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Can I get one federal admission ticket, please?
Alright, so that's gonna be $9. Having a great season, man.
Yeah.
First place.
First place, my Muckdogs.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
If you would like tickets, call our number at 585-524-2260. Go Dogs.
Yo, what's happening?
My name!
Alright, we'll get you in here. Come on. We're gonna get you profiles to you checked out, alright? Alright. You good? Yep. Alright, let's go.
Ready? Bottom of the 6th here in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead the Tarp Skunks 5-0, and we're joined by not 1, not 2, but 3 special guests. Abby Ventura, Devin Brooks, and Michael Benedict, all pitchers for the Muckdogs. Guys, welcome.
How you doing? What's up?
So we'll flip the camera back over to the field as that first pitch is ruled ball 1. And when I can see Jake Butler's the one hitting now for the Muckdogs. I'll start with any of you guys. What's it like having Jake Butler as a teammate?
Having Jake, or we call him JB in the clubhouse. He's a great guy. Comes to work every day. All that stuff.
Yeah, man. To bounce off of that, man. JB, he's a cool guy, man. Like he knows how to joke around. I be saying that about everybody. Like we're all a bunch of clowns in this clubhouse, but when the time comes to put in the work out here and get serious on the field, we all lock in and we all just do what we came here to do and win ball games, you know?
So, guys, now I have 3 of you guys for 3 different opinions. That ball skied to the shortstop.
Pulled in by Sebastianelli for the first out.
Who is the funniest in the clubhouse for the Muckdogs?
Abby Ventura, I believe so. I think so. He's an amazing dude, you know what I mean? He's pretty funny out there, you know what I mean? But I say Abby Ventura, he's there. He's number 1, I think so.
He's so great, we had to get him on the broadcast.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy too, man. I know.
Abby Ventura glazing himself, as we say.
First pitch to Greco's swung on and missed.
Just ran it hard again.
And I've also been told we've played 5 innings, so they could technically cancel the game and spend 5 innings.
We will come out with the win.
But so Batavia this season, obviously you guys jump out.
Oh, Greco skies that one out to right center and pulled in by Kaiser for the second out.
Obviously this season you guys went on a giant 9-game win streak to start the year. As of late, you guys battled a couple games, losing a couple close ones, coming victorious in 4 of the last 7. It hasn't been all offense, especially today. Only 1 hit through the first, now 5 and 2/3 innings. What makes this team so dangerous that you guys can still win games, 5-0, when you guys only have 1 hit?
I just feel like our arms are I feel like we're the best in the league, and then our defense for sure. We always make plays no matter what, and then our offense, they'll always put together good ABs, and I put together walks, hit by pitchers, get on any way they can.
Yeah, a lot of our hitters, man, we're scrappy, man. We get gritty when it's time. Man, they fight, especially if we're down, and we gotta come back and win a ball game. We put together ABs, man. We just work the count. They get deep in the counts, and everybody it's all about the work that everybody puts in, man. It's crazy how we're able to.
And you know what's even crazier? What's even crazier? We're not even 100% comfortable yet, my man. Like we're playing right now, kind of low, you know what I mean? But we're still, our capability right now is to the roof. You know what I mean? Yo, like we're scary as hell. I'm telling you this right now, we're scary.
And it's been great watching you guys grow as the season's going on. Still, like you said, not playing your best baseball. You guys feel like you guys can add more. What do you guys need to do as a team and you guys self individually to really take that to the next level and be just more dangerous to everyone else in the league?
I probably feel like get rid of probably free bases to the other team. Get more outs, like ground balls, instead of trying to strike everybody out. Just let them hit it and get themselves out.
Yeah, let the defense do their part. You know what I mean? That's what us pitchers need to start working a little more.
Mendez sends that one.
Oh my God! He
right
made that
to
play?
second, but it's snagged by Banks.
Did he just make that
for
play?
the final out. What a catch!
All right, that's it. You see? That's crazy. We was talking about defense, and the defense makes that play.
That'll retire the side. That was some wild defense. We'll keep it on camera for a little bit longer for our guests. And you all guys come from different schools. Talk about the experience you've gotten at your respective universities this past season and how that's impacted your play in Batavia this summer.
Most definitely. I'm not gonna lie to you. He goes to Alabama State University. Like just seeing the way that he warm ups, like takes the time out of it, like to prepare. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff you learn from other people, and you add into yourself. You know what I mean? The guy he's from a JUCO. His grind is way different from mine. You know what I mean? So you just learn from other people who's trying to build up from that. You know what I mean? So that's what I take on from my teammates. You know what I mean? Warm up routines. Maybe I could add it on. Maybe help me a little better, become a better baseball player. You know?
With summer ball You guys always have different players coming from different teams in different parts of the country or sometimes even the world. How much – it's certainly a challenge for the coach at times to put all those different players together. How much of a challenge is it for you guys to play with brand new players and unfor-sure team chemistry, and how much of an adjustment is that for the players?
I'm going to say, honestly, not a challenge at all. Like, everybody knows their role on this team, and you don't have a guy trying to be the main guy, trying to be like, I'm going to be the leader, I'm going to just go off the wheel and everything. Like, everybody knows their role, everybody stays together, plays as one team, because we all have one goal, and that's to win this championship, and bring it home to Batavia. But that's what I feel.
First pitch is grounded over to Wheaton, and he throws it to first for the first out. We'll flip it back to the field.
We talked about how dangerous this roster is at the moment, what it can be. Michael, we talked a little bit about, there's so many talented hitters from top to bottom.
Yeah.
What about pitching? Who is your favorite pitcher, to really admire besides yourself, obviously? Yeah. I know Abby sits in the mirror every morning and says, man, I look good today.
I like picking apart from every pitcher. I feel like I can learn from every pitcher. Like, when I watch Abby on the mound, what I really like what he does is he's so effortlessly smooth, and the way the ball comes out his hand, it comes out like a shotgun, So, like, I like picking apart from pitchers. I like watching Abby throw, but I also like watching Josh Livengood throw because, he just the way he gets on the mound and has that dog mentality where it's like, I'm going to get this guy out. I don't care who the heck is in the batter's box. I'm going to go up there, shove, and get us back in the dugout real fast. And even this guy right here, he be shoving, man. I love watching everybody throw. That's just my opinion.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count for the righty Juan. And there's 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Devin, who is your favorite pitcher to sit back and admire, and what can you take away from other pitchers' games to improve upon yourself?
I really like watching Gavin Chandler. I mean, that's a little biased because we grew up together. We've played together since we was 8 years old, went to high school, all that stuff. But me and him, we kind of the same, really. So it's just we kind of do the same things, and I take stuff from that he does, and he takes stuff that I do, and we just kind of translate it to each other and make each other better.
And Gavin Chandler, one thing about his game is he likes that fast pace, that pitching, getting in the rhythm right away, and really painting the strike zone. For pitchers, sometimes, it's almost like a goalie in soccer. You're on your own. The pressure's all on you. Every pitch, it starts with you. Do you guys prefer that, almost like the pitch clock of got to go in a rhythm, got to go fast, or do you want to have more time to yourself in between pitches, or do you want that fast-paced mentality like Gavin has?
Me personally, I kind of like the pitch clock because myself, I kind of work kind of fast, so it doesn't really affect me usually.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm more of a fast worker. Like, as soon as I get the ball back from the catcher, I'm back on that mound ready to throw my next pitch. So I like working at a faster pace. It just keeps me more rhythm.
Is that more of, hey, I'm throwing a lot of strikes right now, I'm painting the strike zone, I'm getting batters out, I want to keep this up, or is it like even you'll go fast when you are struggling at times to find the zone?
For me, I feel like it's just more of a rhythm thing. Once I just find that rhythm that suits me for that certain day, then I can just take off and run with it.
Yeah, with me, like he said, it's a rhythm thing. But if I feel like I'm off, I'm gonna obviously take a step back off the rubber, take a deep breath, and compose myself and figure out what I'm doing wrong to make that adjustment.
Ball that skies that pitch, foul into the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
And a question I have for Abby especially. I wasn't here on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Those throwback jerseys were electric. I want to know your guys' thoughts on those, and can we all convince Mr. Nichols to get us some alternate jerseys?
I think we should get them. I really like them. I think the red jerseys that we got right now with the red pinstripe pants are really electric. They were pretty good. A little tight, you know what I mean? We'll get used to them. We'll loosen them up a little bit game by game, but I really like that flow. You know what I mean? You got to be drippy as a player, so I'm all in for that for sure.
And Abby, what is your I guess, dream color combination here in Batavia?
Dream color combination.
Okay, if you could design a jersey, not already one we have, but if you could design one right now, what would it be?
You know, I really like all white. I think all white is a very beautiful generic color that every team should have. But I think in Batavia will be a very beautiful color because they'll have black outline with the red, you know what I mean, popping out. I think I'll be the beautiful colorway. And maybe let's switch it up a little bit and do a little yellow, you know what I mean?
Yellow?
Yeah, man. Yellow with black lettering or maybe red. It'll be beautiful. Give it a little Atlanta Brave like type of look, you know what I mean?
Now, is that because you don't slide a whole lot? Or, what would Lucas want all white jerseys? I mean, Eric definitely would not want that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, most definitely. Actually, we already have all black, so all black, red.
But yellow to the Batavia Muckdogs logo?
Yeah, I think so, man. Yeah. You think so? You don't think so? What about baby blue? Oh my God, have you seen Bam Bam's jersey? That's
no,
fire.
I haven't.
Listen, man, it's baby blue with like red. Shout out to Bam Bam, by the way. Electric man. Every game he's here, man. W man right there. We should talk to Bam Bam about that. I swear. Listen, man. Baby blue. I think black lettering and red. That's so fire.
Nah, I mess with the baby blue look.
I like the baby blue.
If we get like a Carolina powder blue going, I think that'll bring like some crazy pop to the Batavia Muckdogs, man. I feel like those jerseys will sell out, yo.
What about white with red pinstripes?
White and red pinstripes.
That could work. It would match the pants we already have.
Exactly. I mean, we could get some new pants because, you know, those pants was a little big on some of our guys, you know. Hate to say it, but Dev, those pants are huge on you.
Yeah.
Kaiser.
They were parachutes.
And a question I have for you guys is, obviously you guys are all pitchers. Growing up, what MLB player did you look towards or try to style your game about?
All right, no even doubt about it. Alex Rodriguez, man. A lot of people are going to hate me for the comments for this, but that's my...
Were you hitting bombs in high school, Abby?
Yes, I was. But it's not even just like his how can I say it, like hitting, fielding. He's a perfect dude, but it's just like his attitude, man. When he played, it's just the heart he put out there. It's just like this crazy passion. I love every single bit of it. What do you guys think?
I really like Pedro Martinez as a pitcher because I feel like we have like the same arm slot, and he was just a dog on the mound. I would just go back and watch YouTube videos of him, and just like watch how he threw, and he just had that dog mentality, and I just kind of took over from that growing up.
For me, I wasn't really like a pitcher growing up. I modeled my game after Derek Jeter because that's my all-time favorite Yankee, all-time favorite baseball player. So I really looked up to Derek Jeter, like, growing up. Like, always wore number 2. Always wore the Jeter, like, Jordan cleats and everything. But as a pitcher, I really liked Andy Pettit a lot. And I really liked the way he threw and everything. Yo, you think I'm chatting, bro? No, I'm not. I actually liked Andy Pettit. You know, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. So, like, I gotta keep it in the Yankees organization. 27, baby. You already know it. That's cap. You're right, my boy. You're right. We're going to have 28. And you know who's trash, though? The Braves.
The Yankees are the worst team in baseball, and they will not win the World Series this year. I stand on that. Stamp it right now.
All right, if you know this is a joke, fix your warning track.
One more question that I personally have. Just trying to dive into your guys' minds. Obviously you guys are all very successful baseball athletes. What other sport do you think you could be as successful or even more successful at besides baseball?
That's pretty easy. Basketball, volleyball, soccer, any sport you put me into.
Any sport.
Football. Yeah, come on, man. But baseball are the most athletic people in this world.
You got a point with that one.
Yeah.
So Dutra was telling me how you guys have one off day, and in that off day, can I expect?
It's lined out to left field, and the Tarp Skunks are running home. That's one runner that scores for Jamestown. Look at that line drive from
that was a blooper.
Banks. And that's Henry Juwan, the catcher, scoring. So the Tarp Skunks finally on the board after 6-7 innings.
So Dutra was saying
now 5-1 in favor of Batavia.
Trevor Dutra was saying how you guys only have one off day. Can I expect in that off day, do you guys play a big giant football game between the whole team?
I'd say basketball.
Yeah, I'll say basketball. Football is too. That's too.
It's too much work.
Yeah, that's
too much running.
It's too much roughness, I believe.
Me personally, I'm from the South, and football, that's where real men are made. and
You'll get tackled, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm
That is
still
big body, man.
I'm head topping you. I'm head topping you.
Jump with me, bro.
I got the most bounce on the team.
That is
Stand on
that's
that.
cap.
I
That
got
is
the
a
most
lie.
bounce on the team.
I have video proof. I jump out the gym, bro. Like, basketball is my second sport, and if I didn't take baseball as serious as I took, if I didn't take baseball so serious, I would be.
He
playing
would be
college
Michael. He
basketball,
would be
bro.
quote unquote Michael Jordan.
The GOAT.
Slash
Yeah.
white chocolate
We-
slash
Yeah,
JJ
man.
Redick.
We asked Trevor Dutra the same question a couple days ago about which sport he would play if it wasn't for baseball, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on his answer. He said he'd be a safety.
Who
football.
said that? Dutra?
Dutra.
You know what Dutra fits in as a football player? Outside linebacker. That's the most brutally thing he'll do.
I feel like
He's got a good frame. He's got a good
he got a
frame.
good frame, but I feel like Dutra would probably play some sport that like.
I think wrestling fits him.
I feel like wrestling fits him, but
Wrestling,
like he'll
that's an
play some like
interesting one.
crazy sport that you wouldn't even think of. I feel like he'll probably be more of like a
What's
ping pong,
what's
like
the sport that
pickleball?
You, like, slice and it's like the dice like on ice?
Curling.
curling.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
Dutra might be a curler. Like he
Cooper-
might be a future curler. yo.
Cooper Romick in the mic'd up we had early last week was talking to Siciliano about him being a curler.
He was curling for real?
No, but like him, like, he could be. He said, I think, in the mic'd up. But I do remember him and Siciliano talking about curling, and I thought there was a lot of curling for. They didn't get a lot of work done with the
I
tarp.
want to get mic'd up. That's. I feel like we need to get the bullpen mic'd up. If we get the bullpen mic'd up, that's easy.
Especially
We're gonna get
during-
every player one by
especially
one.
during hacky
We
sack.
need the bullpen mic'd up. The bullpen needs to get mic'd up.
That's on my list.
All right,
bullpen
guys.
needs to get
Final
mic'd up.
question before we let you all go. You're stuck in an elevator with one of the Muckdogs teammates. Who do you want it to be? Who do you want to be with the most and the least, and why? We'll start with Abby.
Abby Ventura, for sure.
For most or least.
Huh?
Most and
You wanna
least.
be with
I
you?
would rather be with him in there, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You gonna keep me entertained for the next 3 hours.
I don't like that guy, bro.
You don't like him?
I room with that guy, man. He gets on my nerves, yo. But
That's the game. They called
and that's
it.
the ball
Well,
game, folks.
That's another
As we
Muckdogs win in the books.
They just called the game.
Hey, but to answer, my bad, yo. To answer that question,
We'll flip it back real quick.
I would rather be stuck in the elevator. I'll be stuck in the elevator with Mikey Pedraza, and least, actually never mind. I changed my mind. I would rather be stuck in the elevator with Isidro Jimenez and
For the vibes. For the vibes.
Yeah, for the vibes, and for this guy right here, least, yo, because he'll just be yapping about himself. Like you already heard it on the interview.
I could see that.
Like he just be yapping about himself, bro, and that's not okay. What about you, Dev?
Me? Most? Nah. That's favoritism. That's favoritism. I can't do that. Most, I might have to go with Matt Misiti. And least, Trevor Dutra.
Okay.
I'm telling him to watch the podcast.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Pleasure having you guys on.
We'd like to thank you guys for coming on. Abby Ventura, Devin Brooks, Michael Benedict. Follow them on our live stream.
Another Muckdogs
And
win.
then at the mound.
guys.
Dubsky.
Follow us on the gram too.
Follow the gram. So that'll do it here in Dwyer Stadium. The game was called after 6.5 innings. The final score, 5-1 in favor of the Muckdogs. So the Muckdogs bounced back at home, Landon, after a loss to the Ridgemen. Granted, it didn't count in the record, but a loss to the Ridgemen and then a delay yesterday, preventing them from playing.
Yeah, and for Batavia, this is what you feel like exactly kind of needed to happen to get them in the right direction. Although it wasn't the best offensive performance we've seen from them this year, only having one hit, the vibes were high, as you saw here. The vibes are high. The vibes are high in the clubhouse. They saw the ball incredibly well. They played good defense. They pitched excellent. And this is the kind of win that they needed as a team to head towards the right direction and to get hot again and to take a comfortable lead in first place. Elmira and Auburn still on their back, about 3 games as we saw earlier today. But in baseball, anything can happen any day. And these wins, although it wasn't pretty, it was a win.
If you had asked me or excuse me, if you had told me today that the Muckdogs would have one hit and they'd be on the winning side of the game, I'd call you crazy. But that's the reality we're in. The Muckdogs, one hit coming from the very first at-bat with Lucas Lopez, and they get the job done. 5-1 the final score today. Just an incredible effort by the Muckdogs. Despite the weather, despite the walks, the hit by pitches, they get the job done. Anything to add, Landon, before we sign off?
I am interested to see what Skip does in the future. I mean, like we said, this wasn't a great win in the stat sheet, but a win's a win, and the Muckdogs now go into a really rough part on their schedule. They're going to be playing, like we heard earlier today, only one off day for the remainder of the season, the whole month of July. So they're going to end June in first place in the West Division, but with one more month left in the season, we'll have to see how Batavia holds up.
So that'll do it from us here at Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs take it 5-1 over the Tarp Skunks. For Landon Washburn, I'm Jared Valentin saying thank you so much for